Today we're looking at Magic the Gathering cards. They're trying really hard to do absolutely nothing. Think of some really pacifist cards around here today. We're going to start off with Dark Steel Relic. I think one of the most useless cards in Magic the Gathering. If it had a purpose, well, you really designed your deck around this thing. 0 mana artifact, Dark Steel Relic is indestructible. Effects that say destroy, don't destroy it. See, they had so much space on this card, they decided to remind you what indestructible was. It's the last thing we can call our own, says Minhu Mirren Resistance. Completely useless.
That's affinity
for nothing.
Yeah, for 0 mana.
I mean, you could get affinity online, I guess. I mean, it's got that going for it.
Yeah, it's pretty useless.
Oh, he took it from me. Don't worry, there's plenty of cards out there. All right, so think of things that try hard to do nothing. We got next, Kobolds of Care Keep. You gotta look out for them kobolds, because these things can come out immediately on turn 1, and a million of them, because they're for 0 mana. We got a 0/1 kobold. How many kobolds are there out there? I know, yeah, you probably, I mean, I don't know either, so we need a historian out here. Care Keep is unique among fortresses, impervious to aerial assault, but defenseless from the ground. All right, what do we got here from the community? Liquid Sulfide. One with nothing does something, though. It discards your hand. You know what? I'll accept this one. One with nothing. There's a world where this card does do nothing. You play this, and that's it. You've got no hand. You have 1 land onto the battlefield. When nothing remains, everything is equally possible. Old boy loves the Dark Steel Relic. Hello, old boy.
How is this not one of those unglued cards?
My brother thinks this should be unglued. Oh, Lord of Atlantis. Absolutely not. All right, what do we got next here?
Naked Singularity.
Eric says, playing John Cena theme music in my head for the first time, making it at the start. All right, welcome. Force of Savagery dies when it resolves. Good creature design. All right, let's look at Force of Savage. Just put it there. Huh? Such a card exist? There we go. Savagery. We got a green 2 generic 8/0 Trampler. You know what that means?
Well, it doesn't have any life. What is it?
Dies instantly. Exactly. That's right. You put onto the battle. Oh my god, this could be the thumbnail. Could be the thumbnail of my show. I love this card.
How does this work?
Well, you actually need Master of Waves in play.
Here, it's an elemental.
It's yeah, Master of Waves.
Oh,
so
wow.
if you try hard enough, so let's say you get Master of Waves. It says elemental creatures you control get +1/+1. You get your Force of Savagery will enter the battlefield as a 9/1. But you need some sort of Lord effect to make this thing great. Work.
And it's legal in Modern.
Yeah. Go make your Force of Savagery deck.
Somebody should. This could be huge. It's only 3 mana.
Huh?
It's only 3 mana.
And it has Trample.
For 8.
Yeah, exactly.
This is amazing.
God. All right, what do we got? We got Approaching Calamity. We're here with the super chat. Here's your Pepsi, Nico, bro. There you go. Got a Pepsi.
You could spin this with Eater of Days somehow, maybe.
Thank you, bro. What is that thing?
You skip 2 turns, but it's like an 8-something Trampler with flying.
Oh, yeah,
it's only like 2 mana.
Right. Oh, here we go. Tommy Siddons with the Scornful Egotist. Scornful Egotist.
Let me go to Mary Brown's Lady. Give me a Peppy.
Okay, we got the Scornful Egotist. 8 mana for a 1/1 creature. That's value right there, people. Once I was human, now I am far more. What, the 2/2s for 3 mana are humans? Yeah, so you can morph it for 3 as a 2/2 creature, and then lo and behold, when you pay the morph cost of a blue, it turns into a 1/1 wizard. Need that wizard tribal in there.
What? I'm still
What?
Still confused about what's going on here.
Okay, so you can morph it for 3 mana. It's just a 2/2 creature on the battlefield.
For 8 mana, it's a 2/2.
No. For 3 mana, it's a 2/2. Oh. You could pay the alternate cost, or it's a regular cost. Normally, it's the other way around. It's like, or I would say, normally it's supposed to be a high casting cost card, that has some good stats, but this one has bad stats. Like, it's really bad.
Yeah, I can see that.
It's really bad. And then you have the morph cost. So you can pay it for 3 mana as a 2/2 creature, and then as a special morph cost to cheat the good side. But the thing is, there is no good side. This is all crap. It's crap on one side. It's crap on the other side. It's two. Yeah, the circle of life. All right, what do we got here? Straw Golem from Old Boy. Straw Golem.
Dude looks like he should be on Sega Genesis box art.
We got 1 mana, 2/3. Artifact creature. If an opponent successfully casts a summon or artifact creature spell, bury Straw Golem. Will not be around for very long. What is the Straw Golem? It's like, is it some sort of scarecrow made out of, like, broomsticks? Yeah, something like that. Whatever. It's not long for this world. What do you have to be against? If opponent successfully casts a summon or artifact creature spell? Oh, hold on. Okay, so this was actually probably good versus control at the time. It was like, you know, like they're not gonna play any creatures. So, yeah, whenever an opponent casts a creature spell, sacrifice Straw Golem. So if you're up against some sort of hardcore... Anyway, by today's standard, this sucks. 1 mana for a 2-power creature. Get out of here. We got tons of those.
It's also not legal in Modern.
No, it's not legal in Modern. Owen Keith with the super chat. Thanks so much. Glasses of Urza. They made a lot of these cards back then. And they also have the sunglass. We'll look at the sunglasses of Urza. Okay, 1 generic. Tap. Get this value, people. Hear this. Look at target player's hand. Oh, I thought it was only 1 card. Like, we'll look at 1 card at random. It's funny, it's telepathy, but I have to tap it every single time? Yeah, it's literally an artifact version of telepathy. Interesting. What is the sunglasses of Urza? Oh, you may use white mana in your mana pool as either white or red mana. That also is pretty useless.
That's good. It's only 3 mana too.
Eric with the Null Rod. Trying hard to make the board state do nothing. Activated abilities of artifacts can't be activated. Gerard, but it doesn't do anything.
It should be restricted in Modern.
Hannah, no, it does nothing. It's part of the reserve list, so it's hard to get this thing at all. I'm surprised how cheap it is for a reserve list card that is like a sideboard staple. Brian is like, Urza's Bauble is the one they were thinking of. Okay, hold on. Urza's Bauble. Oh, is this the one that really does not... Okay, we have 0 mana. Tap. Sacrifice Urza's Bauble. Look at a card at random. 1 card in target player's hand. You draw a card at the beginning of the next turn's upkeep. At least you draw a card. It's basically 0 mana, draw a card.
Yeah.
Okay, Valerio is like, want some jank? Tell Jalad Life Breather. What the hell is this? Okay, green 4 generic for a 3/2 troll shaman. Pay a green tap. Sack a forest. Regenerate target creature. I'll admit I've never heard of it because it's so bad, but at least it does something. It beats out every other card on this list so far. Oh, we got Blue Bomber. The Circle of Life. Cycle of Life. Oh, I didn't know. Okay, I thought someone was making a comment. Look, who was it earlier? Someone made a comment, Cycle of Life. But I didn't know they were actually talking about a card. Alright, we got a green 1 generic enchantment. Return Cycle of Life to its owner's hand. Oh god. Okay, target creature you summon this turn is 0/1 until the beginning of your next upkeep. What? At the beginning of your next upkeep, put a +1/+1 counter on that creature. What? Thus does nature assert herself. Like, what am I missing here? So hold on. So it turns a creature into a 0/1 permanently?
No.
Or no, until the beginning of your next. So you get a counter, but at the cost of it being like weak for a turn. What a bizarre card.
And you can keep cycling it.
I guess so. We get these from Scryfall. I guess this is Goblin Snowman.
Or Goglin.
From Danielle. We got the Goblin Snowman, red 3 generic for a 1/1 goblin. They love snow. What's the goblins doing? Well, I guess goblins and the mountains get really hot. I was like wondering what does winter and goblins have to do with each other?
They like to build a snowman.
Snow-covered mountains. They love the snow-covered mountains. That's when they get to make the snow-covered snowman. Okay, whenever Goblin Snowman blocks, prevent all combat damage that would be dealt to and dealt by it this turn. Interesting. So wait, this thing is indestructible. They invented something. Tap Goblin Snowman deals 1 damage to target creature it's blocking. Oh, because of the snowball. They're gonna like, or also maybe the hammer. I don't know. One guy throws a snowball, one guy gets him with the hammer. If you get close enough. But why would you walk? Why would you go right into a snowman?
This thing is modern legal.
I summon a snowman in front of... Yeah. Is it modern legal? Oh, that's bizarre. It is modern legal. Oh, because it's one of these time-shifted cards. 3/3 is like, snowman is great.
So it's indestructible?
Well, not technical. I mean,
you could bolt it.
No, yeah, you can bolt it. So it's only combat damage. It can suck up, like, some...
This thing could block an Emrakul.
No. Emrakul flies. This thing does not fly very well. Tap as blocking. Okay, does break open count because nobody plays morph? Let's see. You guys can be creative. You can be a little creative. All right, we got a red 1 generic. Yeah, I love it. Instant turn, target face down creature and opponent controls face up. I mean, even if, isn't there like a card you can look at people's face down cards whenever you want? Oh God. Why is this even 15 cents? This card is 15 cents. Oh, you can't see it. Look, 15 cents. Should be worthless. The market should be bursting from the seams with this card.
Get your break opens.
Yeah. Oh, and did I miss one? Oh, I'm sorry about that, Alpha Nerd. I'm so sorry. We got a super chat over here. Chaos Lace. We've got a red. Change the color of target spell or target permanent to red. Costs to cast, tap, maintain, or use a special ability if target remain unchanged. Well, why would it change? Okay, so they errated this card to target spell or permanent becomes red. You're red now.
Is Master of Waves impervious to this?
Yes, actually, because Master of Waves has protection from red, so you can't even target it with the Chaos Lace. What a bizarre card. Owen Key, thanks so much for the super chat. But I think we did Glasses of Urza already.
Let's look at it one more time.
Yeah, we look at another one.
He uses better sunglasses than you do.
Look at target player's hand. Telepathy on an artifact.
Those actually look really uncomfortable.
I'm not. Was glasses? Well, yeah. He was an artificer, not an optometrist. Can you, Urza? Can you please read all the letters? No,
Better
I can't.
or worse?
Yeah.
Better or worse?
Okay, we got Geyer here with the super chat. Cephalid Snitch. Cephalid Snitch. It's like one of those. This is one of those shows where we learn about the deep worst cards in Magic the Gathering. Okay, we got blue 1 generic 1/1 Cephalid Wizard. Sacrifice it. Target creature loses protection from black until end of turn. Just make sure it doesn't have protection from blue at the same time. The cautious are wary of their enemies. The wise are also wary of their friends.
It's not legal in modern.
What a bizarrely specific ability. Was there anything pro-black at the time that was, like, broken? I don't know. I don't think so. I got David here with the Lupine Werewolf. Maybe it was just Lupine something? Lupine Harbingers, maybe?
There's wolves on it.
Alright. This does a lot of stuff, though. Trample Haste. Probably is not the card. Probably isn't the card. Are there cards with Morph that are non-permanent when face up? I don't know. Not sure. Owen Keith, Lens of Clarity is the look at face down card thing. Oh, the Lens of Clarity. Oops. Okay, we got 1 generic artifact. Yes, you may look at the top card of your library and at face down creatures you don't control.
So you pair this up.
I can't look at my own face down creatures around here.
Pair this up with Lantern of Insight, and you'll be invincible.
I think that basically does the same thing. It's funny. If we didn't know that Lantern Control was a serious deck, it would end up on this list. Blue Bomber. Zephyr Spirit. The Spirit of Zephyr.
Oh.
All right, we'll look at Zephyr's Spirit in a second, but we gotta thank our sponsors today. Guess who's our sponsor is today?
Mana.
What the hell are you doing? It's FusionGamingOnline.com. Wow, my co-host here is lapse in memory. All right, FusionGamingOnline.com, my one-stop, my first place I go to buy all my Magic cards. I built my Spirit deck off of this place. Deal of the week this week, save 15% off all D&D books and accessories. But if you're buying singles from the latest sets like March of Machine and Phyrexia All Will Be One, don't forget to use coupon code Nikachu at checkout for 5% off all your purchases. And it supports the channel, so let them know I sent you. We're also going to thank Mana Traders, the premier place for renting Magic cards online. Also a name that my brother forgot. It's Mana something. It's called Mana Traders. Not to be mistaken by the other Mana places. Why rent cards? Because it's cheaper than buying decks and selling them back. If the cards get banned, your cards don't get banned. Mana Traders cards get banned. You can play an unlimited number of decks because you just rent the deck, send it back, and rent a new one. And you can start renting by using my Mana Traders link in the description below, or use coupon code Nikachu_3RS for 10% off your first 2 months. Let's go back to some useless garbage cards. Cards that try hard to do nothing.
I don't know, that 8-0 elemental was pretty good.
Huh?
That 8-0 elemental was actually boss.
My brother will find value where there is no value. Okay, Zephyr Spirit. Okay, blue 5 generic 0-6. What a it's all defense. All right, when Zephyr Spirit blocks, return it to its owner's hand. Oh god. This thing's really doing nothing. But why? Why is it so important that it goes back to its hand? I guess you might want it for like some ETB strategies. Creature comes back. But there's like way cheaper cards that do this. The worst.
Not back in 2005.
What was it? Oh yeah, this was back. I don't know. It was a spirit too. This is like the goalie of the spirits. Does such a card exist? Dream Fighter? We're gonna fight your dreams. Face your nightmare. Face your dreams. All right, we got a blue 2 generic. 1/1. Whenever Dream Fighter blocks or is blocked by a creature, Dream Fighter and that creature phase out. Oh, you guys are going nowhere. Nowhere fast. Not only the sleeping should fear dreams. That's interesting. This is a really neat design. It's like it can block anything. So they block, they phase out, they don't deal damage. They'll be back for another day of blocking. Cool card, actually. For a card that tries hard to do nothing.
Not modern legal.
David Moore with the prototype. Hopefully this is a real card. Oh, God.
It's got to be an original.
Is it the original? It's not. Okay, like if you're new to the show, David, you got to be really specific and precise.
Maybe this is what he was talking about. Lupine prototype.
Oh, there we go. All right. We got a 2 mana 5/5. Okay, this is a wolf. The lore is all coming together. Okay, the 2 generic 5/5 wolf construct lupine prototype can't attack or block unless a player has they have to be hellbent, no cards in their hand. Ludovic saw it in a dream and set to work immediately. Every detail already known. Can such genius be taught? You need to somehow one with nothing your opponent, which is, what's it called?
This guy can really chase cards.
Mind Twist. You need to Mind Twist your opponent, which is banned in Legacy. 2 mana 5/5. I'm not gonna lie. I think a 2 mana 5/5 would probably be fair. And if it was a vanilla card, I think it'd be fair in Modern. I'm just calling it right now. It'd be fair. You get rid of it in like a million different ways. It doesn't even survive Unholy Heat, for crying out loud. Any player can attack or block unless a player... Oh, it can be you! So you can combine this with one with nothing. Oh, right. Oh, that's interesting. All right, so we play the Lupine prototype. Turn 3. One with nothing ourselves.
And start hitting for 5.
Which is another card that was on this list today.
Modern legal.
So we're actually, if you have enough of these crappy cards together, they build a super deck. They are a Megazord. It can be done. All right, so I like Lupine prototype with power, toughness, sack draw. Oh yeah, that's interesting. Like sack a creature, and then draw cards equal to the power or something. That's a neat idea. Mark Steer with the Aristic Cave.
It's a big puppy.
Oh yeah, this card. Add 1 mana of any color to your mana pool unless any player pays 1. Oh god. So someone could just, okay, I'm gonna tap this for mana. Anyone want to pay the 1? And in Commander, that's got to be hell, because like there's 3 other people that could opt. Oh yeah, I'll pay 1. You can't get this mana. Well, that's good. Maybe it's like a Rishadan Port in some way, because you'll tap your Ristic Cave and get somebody to tap their land. But really, you wanted them to do that. Outside of that, it's pretty garbage.
It's only 24 cents. Buy them.
It's probably 24 cents because people want to own, probably made a collection of these really pathetic, unplayable cards. Does this have any purpose whatsoever? Does it have any utility? I don't think so. Just absolutely nothing. It's a, oh no, okay, it is 1 mana of any color if people are tapped out. Add 1 mana of any, yeah, but then you get nothing. You get absolutely nothing if they pay it.
Someone said Juju Bubble.
The Juju Bubble! Is it Bubble or Bobble? No, it's Bubble. The Juju Bubble, 1 mana. Oh my god, yeah. I remember, we had this on another show. The worst card possible in Magic the Gathering. This is probably the worst. 1 mana, cumulative upkeep of 1. If you play a card, you have to destroy the Juju Bubble. And you can pay 2 and gain 1 life. So we have to pay 1, then 2 mana next turn, then 3 mana next turn, or we sacrifice it. Or if we do anything, if we so much as breathe, it's blown up. It's ridiculous. We did do Null Rod. Yeah, I would vote, if I were to vote the worst cards ever in the game, this is it. This is #1 on my list. Can't even fly. Thanks so much for the super chat. Mere Mind Servant for the bro. Mere Mind Servant. 1 mana, 1/1. Oh yeah. Yeah, my brother loves shuffling the library.
And it's modern legal.
Yeah, it is modern legal. Go play that in a modern event. You can go make a mirror deck out of this thing.
I'll make my opponent sweat every second as I'm shuffling.
Yeah, they're gonna think you're cheating.
That's right.
Because who would want to shuffle so often, huh? Who likes to shuffle just out of pleasure?
I think people should be allowed to shuffle the deck whenever you want.
Good God, the game would be so unhinged. Is that the case?
Call a judge over to look at what you're doing just to make sure it's legal.
Yeah, but you can't have enough judges around watch everyone at once who's shuffling whenever they want to do it.
Yeah, well.
You have to play the game. You have to constantly stare at your opponent while they're shuffling. Because they will be shuffling constantly. Then all the cheaters from Yu-Gi-Oh! And Pokemon will all come to Magic the Gathering.
Yeah.
Come on in, everyone. The water's warm.
Shuffle whenever you want.
Yeah. Anyway, pay 2 mana, tap, shuffle your library is what Mere Mind Servant does. It's merely doing nothing.
It's great.
Larry with the Grip of Chaos. Alright, what does this thing do? So red for generic enchantment. Whenever a spell or ability is put onto the stack, reselect its target at random if it has a single target. Now I wouldn't say this card necessarily does nothing, but it's not going to do what you want it to do. Or the person casting it is just creating chaos for absolutely nothing. We've got, oh my goodness! What's going on here? Millmaster is back! Y'all playing Zephyr Spirits? We did that one, but we'll do it again for $100. Zephyr Spirits. Whoops. Zephyr, did we... Oh, is it? No, it's a Zephyr something, right? Is that the 0 mana wall? There it is, yeah. Oh, sorry, it's Zephyr Spirit. I hate how, Scryfall... If I add the S to the end of a card... Scryfall is like, I don't know what you're talking about at all. Yeah, the 0/6 spirit creature. Whenever it blocks, return it to its owner's hand. Hold on, what's the flavor text? We didn't look over it. A spiteful forest exists on Ravnica that blinds these ghosts to the land of the living, but forbids them to touch it. Okay, that's the flavor of it. No touchies. All right, the Monocle Rogue. Thank you very much for the super chat. Here's one for the coffee budget. Colfinner's Plans. Colfinner's Plans. All right, got black, 2 generic enchantment. When Culfiner's Plans comes into play, remove the top 7 cards of your library from the game face down. You may look at and play cards removed from the game with Culfiner's Plans. Skip your draw step. You can't play more than 1 spell each turn. Oh, God. But why? Remove the top 7. It's like, why not just not... Oh, I get it. So you can, like, dig a little bit deeper into your deck and then play those cards. But really, you're just playing the cards off the top of your deck anyway. And that's it. You're restricted to those 7 cards, and that's it. It's game over. This is a pretty bad card. Old boy says, I like Teferi's Isle. Am I crazy? Or is Teferi's Isle, like, secretly good? So it's a land that adds blue to your mana pool, but has phasing. So hold on, if I understand, so it comes into play tapped. If I understand correctly, you just don't get the you just can't use the mana on your opponent's turn. But this card looks busted. I was thinking about it, like, it looks stupid at first, but isn't it busted? Like, you have an extra two mana on your turn, which is not bad. Like, it's not bad. Maybe it's awkward for the counterspell decks or the blue decks. Yeah, you have blue or 2 blue every 3. No, is it every 3 turns? Isn't it? Okay, so if I understand, it just phases out at the end of your turn, but then phases back in. Like, who cares?
When it's tapped. Comes in tapped.
Comes in play tapped. Yeah, whatever. You don't use it. Is that how it works every other turn? Okay, I thought it just phases every single turn. Or maybe it phases in tap. Oh, yeah. Maybe that's what I'm wrong. It's wrong. It's very... Phasing. This phases in or out before you untap during each of your untap steps. Well,
this is why they got rid of phasing.
Yeah, this is why they got rid of phasing. Okay, maybe I'm a moron. No, only on your turn. It phases out on the beginning of turn. Ah, so it phases in. Okay, so I get it. Okay, the problem is I don't know how phasing works. All right, I think this card is garbage again.
We need to bring phasing and banding back.
No, we don't. That would be a big mistake. Yeah, for some reason I thought... Okay, so it just... Okay, so it phases in, then it phases out, then it phases in. Okay, so we get it once every second turn. Useless. We looked at Darksteel Relic already. Alright, what do we got here? Arctic Merfolk.
Is that an actual card?
I'm gonna find out in a minute. Okay, we got a blue one for a 1/1. It's got a kicker, though. Return a creature you control to its owner's hand. That could be Silver Gilladept. If you paid the kicker cost, Arctic Merfolk comes into play with a 1/1 counter on it. To be honest, that is a lot of effort for a 1/1. I'm paying 2 mana and returning a creature back to my hand just so it can be a grizzly bear. Are you kidding me? That is awful.
You can reuse Trickster. You can reuse Silvergill. You can reuse...
In some sense, yeah, there's a lot of ETBs in Merfolk these days, so... I still don't want to do that. Not happening.
It's not modern legal anyway.
No, Master's like, no one knows how phasing works. And banding. Well, I know how to use banding now. I had to play with banding to know. Nobody knows how banding works until you play with it. Maybe the same thing works with phasing. But I thought I worked with phasing. And protection.
You're gonna phase out.
Okay, we got Voidtech. Thank you very much for the super chat. Blessed Wind. What is the Blessed Wind? White 7 generic. Target player's life total becomes 20. Hey, in Commander, that's like, you know, deal 20 damage to some people. Oh, you thought you were nice. You thought you were comfy at that 40 total life total, huh? So, anyway.
In half.
Yeah, we're gonna cut in half.
Not modern legal.
29-cent card. Get it while you can. I don't know if Shahrazad does. I mean, strategically it does nothing, but it's a real hassle. What do we got here? Sorrow's Path. No, it does something. It just does really bad things. Sorrow's Path. The worst card in MTG. I don't know about that. I don't know if it's the worst card. It's a bad card. It's really awful. Choose 2 target blocking creatures and opponent controls. If each of those creatures could block all creatures that the other is blocking, remove both of them from combat. Each one then blocks all creatures the other was blocking. So you basically, like, you know, you switch around the blockers. Then When Sorrow's Path becomes tapped, it deals 2 damage to you and each creature you control. It's like a self-pyroclasm. Maybe you want to deal damage to your creatures.
It's a lot of words.
It is a lot of words.
For nothing.
Dinosaurs within rage. Like, I don't have one here. Oh, Wood Elemental by Dem. Is that the one that sack all your forests? Oh yeah, this thing. As Wood Elemental enters the battlefield, sack any number of untapped forests. They gotta be untapped. Sorry, you have to pay this casting cost and sack untapped forests. Wood Elemental's power and toughness are each equal to the number of forests sacrificed as they enter the battlefield. Hell of a picture, though. And it's part of the reserve list, by the way.
It's like that tree in Earthbound that blows up when you beat it.
Is it? You know what it reminds me more of? It reminds me of the tree from Kirby.
Oh, yeah.
Tree Kirby. Whatever the hell. Whisperwood? This guy. There he is!
That tree wasn't trying to hurt nobody.
It's the Wood Elemental. And no wonder we beat it so easily. Didn't even try. Yeah, the tree from Kirby. The tree from Kirby. All right, we got Slack with the Ristic Circle. White 2 generic enchantment. Pay 1. Any player may pay 1. What's the point of me paying 1? If no one does, the next time a source of your choice would deal damage to you this turn, prevent that damage. So it seemed like back then they were like, okay, you pay this mana or I get this effect. So it's like, okay, if no one does, the next time a source of your choice would deal damage to you this turn, prevent that damage. So it's like circle of protection, everything. So I can prevent anything, but then you can pay 1 to prevent me from preventing anything. So whoever has more mana wins the game. It's pay to win with mana. The mana version. Bone Flute. 3 mana, pay 2. All creatures get -1, -0 until end of turn. That's wild. That is really, really poor.
It's not modern legal, unfortunately.
No, it's not modern legal. You can play that in Legacy though. I'm trying to figure out how to make this work. I mean, it just doesn't. There's better things we can do with our 5 mana. Owen Keith with the super chat. The card Arena doesn't even tap for mana. Oh yeah, well, I mean, there's a lot of lands like that, right? Okay, so we got pay 3, tap. It's a land. Tap target creature you control and target creature of an opponent's choice. He or she controls each of those creatures, deal damage equal to its power to each other. We don't even get to choose the creature? Tap target creature you control, so we choose one. Oh, I see. It's like choose your Pokemon. All right, I choose this one, you choose yours, and then they fight each other.
Why is he trying to kill that little dragon there? Come on.
Those dragons could breathe fire. Don't underestimate those dragons. Each of those creatures. So I guess you pick on someone who has like very small creatures.
Pick on someone your own size.
Yeah. It's a lot of mana you got to put into this thing. Pay 3 mana and tap this thing. That's a lot of manas. Yeah, early promo. All right, we got the Dizzy Blizzy Mages Contest. Thanks for the entertaining lunch. You're welcome. Mages Contest. Red 1 generic instant. You and target spells controller bid life. You start bidding with the high bid of 1. Not very high in my opinion. In turn order, each player may top the high bid. The bidding ends when the high bid stands. The highest bidder loses life equal to the high bid. If you win the bidding, counter target spell. Good God. Red counter spells, people.
Wild. What?
It's like, you know what? It's like a burn spell. Yeah, I guess you should just look at it like a burn spell instead of a counter spell. Then hopefully they bid enough life that they die. It's the only way I can think about this. All right, we got Velocity. Thank you very much. Encroaching Wastes. What does that do? Oh, yeah. Okay, tap. It's like, it adds a colorless. Then you can pay 4 tap, sack it, destroy target non-basic land. It technically does something, but for the insanely high tax. It's a very expensive wasteland. Very, very, very expensive wasteland. Okay, we got the, what's it called? Can't Even Fly says Apocalypse Chime, City in a Bottle. Okay, let's look at Apocalypse Chime. Because I've never heard of this one. Pay 2, it's an artifact. Pay 2, tap. Sacrifice Apocalypse Chime to bury all cards from the Homelands expansion set.
That's very specific.
Yeah, it's from its own set, so you have to... Oh, I see. So it's like City in a Bottle. I didn't even know that there was another one like this. It's part of the reserve list. It's an 81-cent reserve list card. You never know, people, when those Homelands cards are going to go to the moon. No, it's... well, now, it will technically... Okay, practically speaking, this card does nothing, because I don't know if there are any Homelands cards that see play anywhere at all. Anyway,
this is a super do-nothing card.
Yeah, so yeah, it will do nothing. You sack it to destroy itself. It hates itself. Apocalypse Chime was what Urza destroyed everything with. Ah, so they're just following the lore. Having to look up which set cards were printed in equals it danger. I think they errated it, so it's like it also accounts reprints. So sacrifice Apocalypse Chime, destroy all non-token permanents with a name originally printed in the Homelands expansion. They can't be regenerated. So if they reprint the card, it's fine. It's all good. But yeah, you'd have to look up the history to every card, I guess, on the battlefield. Does this ever come from Homelands? Does this ever come from Homelands? Did this card ever come from Homelands? It has to be originally, right? Printed in the original. Yeah, originally printed, because you can't hit Basic Island, because Basic Island was printed there. It's got to be original. They got to make something like bury everything from Alpha. Then you can hit the stupid cards. All right, the red. Hold on. Do I have some super chats to look at? No. All right, we got. I missed that. Sky Swallower from the Red Scout. Oh, no, whoa, no, I made that mistake before. All right, Sky Swallower, blue, 3 generic for an 8/8 flyer. But when it comes into play, target opponent gains control of all other permanents you control.
That's stupid.
Not good value. Not good value whatsoever. Bad value. It sort of does something. It donates everything of yours to them. All right, S. Lee with the Naked Singularity. Five mana artifact, cumulative upkeep of 3. Oh yeah, if tap for mana, plains produce red, islands produce green, swamps produce white, mountains produce blue, and forests produce black instead of any other type. How does it work if it's a tri-land? So like you have to keep track of. Oh yeah, so like I guess it's a tri-land, but it'll be a tri-land of the opposite colors. You'll get one of your colors back. Screws over the tri-land colors. Steve Bannerman, barreling history.
Barreling attack.
Sorry, barreling attack. Where did I get the history word from?
The one up above it.
Oh, I see. Yeah. Red, 2 generic, instant. Target creature gains trample until end of turn. That creature gets +1/+1 until end of turn for each creature that blocks it. Oh, it's trample. It's not a very red card in my opinion. 4 mana, just give trample and +1. Oh, +1/+1 for each creature that blocks it. Does something in limited. It's just worthless for constructed. Okay, what was Fade from history? From John Doe. It's a pretty cute card.
Oh yeah.
It's got a bunch of bears. Bears.
Bears. It's not illegal.
Okay, this is a new card, by the way. Green, 2 generic sorcery. Each player who controls an artifact or enchantment creates a 2/2 green bear creature token, then destroy all artifacts and enchantments. Don't really feel like this is on theme. It's like it's interesting. It's actually it's artifact destruction, and you get a bunch of bears in the end. Reminds me a little bit of what's it called? The Curse of the Swine. Okay, Alabaster Leech from Markzilla. Alabaster Leech. 1 mana, 1/3. White spells you play. Oh god. The 1 mana creature that taxes itself. But why? Oh, I guess, is it good in the mirror? Like, let's think of White Weenie in the mirror at the time. They had the Savannah Lions, right? So maybe this was just a way of beating up on Savannah Lions on turn 1. Slam this thing down. Alabaster Leech. This card really does. This card will ensure that you do nothing for the rest of the game. Imagine you have 4 Alabaster Leeches on the battlefield. You ruin yourself. It's rare too, yeah. 2 cube, 1 with death. The leeches are a cycle. Okay, 1 with that. You lose the. Oh god. Going out on your own terms, I see. Would there be any benefits to losing the game? Well, I mean, yeah. Well, you can also just concede the game. That works, right? This is actually a $17 mystery booster playtest card. Unbelievable. They must like it for the art. Number 1. 1 with death. Yeah, broken. 2 broken. What do we got here? Oh, David says Arena originally came with one of the early MTG books in the 1990s. Interesting. Yeah, one of the original promos. Azen Highway. What is this card? Azen Highway. They had highways in the multiverse?
Freeways, highways, toll booths.
White, 3 generic enchantment. Holy smokes! 6 mana. So your white creatures gain Planeswalk. It's good for the mirror, I guess. You have, like, no way of ramping this thing out. I guess it helped. Maybe it was practical. I imagine there was a time where, like, the board could get gummed up in, like, I don't know, the mono white mirror. So you need some way to break the... You gotta break the board stall. I guess this could have done it at the time. Yeah, Homelands is from... I mean, we should have a show where I just rate all the Homelands cards. And I don't know, I just... Make it... the scale is, like, unplayable to worthless. Or could play it if you paid me money. Yeah, could play if you paid me money. Unplayable, worthless.
But if I have those...
What a scale.
If I have those chimes, I can get rid of this.
Where's that? What are you talking about?
Owen Keith is saying, but if I have that chime, because this is from that set, I guess.
Oh yeah, that right. Yeah, you destroy all Homelands cards. I guess. I mean, the chime is probably broken in Homelands. What's it called? Not sealed. Block constructed. The card should be banned. Oh, but it would blow up your cards too. The Great Wall kills this. All right, we got Warping Worm from, I cannot pronounce your name, sorry. Warping Worm.
Nah.
We got, well, you can read it?
What was it?
Show us your Russian.
Igor, Neck.
Igor Neck is good enough for me.
F-D-O-B. Stav? Something Stav.
Eric. Okay,
Igor.
we got.
Yeah,
Oh, sorry, Igor.
It's Igor.
Igor.
Neck.
Okay, we spend enough time with this.
Neckliftov? Neckliftov? Is it Neckliftov?
Whatever. Blue, green, 2 generic for a 1/1. Oh my god! With phasing during upkeep, we got to pay mana or Warping Worm phases out. So they're threatening me to phase this thing out, but it has phasing already. Or Warping Worm phases out, but it's gonna phase. Okay, when Warping Worm phases in, oh, we get a counter. That's interesting for the event or for the game that goes on 100 billion turns.
Oh, it's close.
Even worms start out small. This is pretty useless. You were forced to have a number of cards for every recent expansion. Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah, like they should still do that. Force you to play with cards. That would make it for an interesting modern pro tour. You have your 20% of your deck has to be like, I don't know, cards from the new set. Just for the pro tour though. Broccoli. Eat your vegetables, people. Dermoplasm. Blue to generic for a 1/1 shapeshifter with flying. You see that morph again?
There it is.
There it is. When Dermoplasm is turned face up, you may put a creature card with morph from your hand into play face up. If you do, return Dermoplasm to its owner's hand. You get to do the switcheroo.
Do this with that other card.
That's a lot of mana. You spend 3 mana, then you spend 4 mana, and you can put that stupid useless 1/1 into play if you really want to.
That wizard thing.
The wizard thing. A box of Homeland still $800. Probably the cheapest box you can buy out there. Well, I guess that's not a modern. One of the more latest sets. Red with Jandor's ring. Those rings were terrible. Isn't Aladdin's ring just some insanely expensive nonsense? Jandor's ring. 6 mana, artifact. Pay 2, tap. Discard a card you just drew from your library and draw another card to replace it. Wow. Discard the last card you drew this turn, draw a card. How do you know? So, like, I guess you have to do it like you miracle cards. So you're gonna, like, draw the card, look at it. Okay, I want to discard this card. That sounds like a ruling's nightmare. If you put it into your hand, you're screwed. How do I know that was your latest card? There are a number of morphs that were huge creatures, with the morph letting you use them as a body early. Right. Tommy says, you bring a good argument to bring Standard back. They could make Standard just Pioneer, but you have to play half your deck legal the past 2 years. That's interesting. I think they should just make Pioneer the new Standard. Like, I don't think it's that hard. I don't think it's too complicated. We looked at Zephyr Spirit. Okay, let's look at Aladdin's Lamp by Dan.
Oh, it's the hint guy from Earthbound.
Oh, we have someone in flavor to the music of today. Aladdin's Lamp. Yeah, the hint guy. Useless. I'll just use the strategy guide.
It was very expensive.
10 mana artifact, pay X, tap. Instead of drawing a card from the top of your library, draw X cards, but choose only 1 to put into your hand. Shuffle the leftover cards and put them at the bottom of your library. X cannot be 0. 10 mana for this ability? That's not worth it. Good God.
It's pretty good.
Oh, can't even fly. It says, okay, let's look up Scornful Egotist on Gatherer and read the comments. Alright, we're gonna go on a journey here.
Half of them might be mine.
Gatherer, Scornful Egotist. Is this Gatherer?
Yeah, that's it.
This is Gatherer. Alright, let's look at them comments.
Discussion.
And read the comment section.
Up. Here, go up.
Where is it?
Discussion.
Oh, here. Probably should make some. The player rating overall, so they like it. It's a 3.5 out of 5 stars for Scornful Egotist. What is the point of this? All hail the great Lord Egotist. His comments appear to have a common. All hail the great Lord Egotist. What the hell? I'll face it. It's just a 1/1 for 8 mana. Not only that, but all hail the great Lord Egotist. For 1 mana, you can get a fugitive wizard at the same power and toughness, but for 8 mana, all hail the great Lord Egotist. What the hell is going on here? Didn't know this is like a cult card. This is their leader. Yeah, this is their leader.
It's glorious regime.
Oh my goodness. Thanks for the Easter egg. I had no idea that existed in the depths of Gatherer. Toilet Duck, River Delta. What is going on here? If there are any depletion counters on River Delta, it does not untap during your untap step. At the beginning of your upkeep, remove a depletion counter from River Delta. Okay, tap, add a blue to your mana pool, put a depletion counter on River Delta. It basically gives it phasing, right? You can only use it once. What an absolute garbage land! And this is Ice Age. Like, they came out with the Pain Lands. They even still see play today. Well, Terry tags is from that cult. All hail the great Lord Egotist. All hail the leader. Fairy's Isle is never good. No, yeah, we looked at that one already. Depletion land saw play in stasis decks. Oh, does that work? I have no idea how it works. So I guess they have some. They have some. Stasis might as well be a card on this list. This card tries really hard for doing absolutely nothing. At the beginning of your upkeep, sack it unless you pay 1. Players skip their untap steps.
That's the most magic art of all time on this card.
You think so?
Yeah.
It is iconic. Where's Faye Jones today? Who knows? Wonder what else
weird.
Faye Jones has done. Let's quickly look at Faye Jones. Okay, maybe this is it. I don't know.
One hit wonder.
Yeah.
Why they never made anymore.
I don't know.
Didn't
Maybe he died shortly later, so they couldn't bring him back for more work.
Wizards just never called him.
Depletion lands were played for sure. Millmaster knows.
Never
He was there. He was there with the depletion lands. No, stasis got broken by time elemental. Ah. Okay, the egotist comboed with rush of knowledge. All hail the great lord, the lord egotist. People are showing their true colors here.
It is a blue card.
All swim in the waters of the delta. Is that in reference to this thing? Take a look at Parallax Inhibitor. Parallax Inhibitor. Oh, we got 2 mana artifact. Pay 1, tap. Sack it. Put a fade counter on each permanent with fading you control. Oh, God. So you know how fading is this thing. You remove a fading counter every turn. If you can't remove a fading counter, you got to sack the permanent. So this delays the inevitable by 1 turn. But you better have a very serious fading counter deck. It's already a pretty bad mechanic as it is. Wasn't Stasis the basis of old prison decks? Yep. It's probably one of the most annoying cards of all time. One of the most annoying cards of all time. Yeah, we looked at the Force. Do we have any more cards? We got Geyer here with the Shelky Brownie. Or Shelkin Brownie. Is it like a... Is there brownies in the multiverse?
Brownies,
do they
fudge, Rice Krispie Squares.
There is a Shelkin Brownie, but it's green. All right,
Oh, brownies are this type of elves that were made back in like the 1920s.
Oh, okay. So we got a green 1 generic for a 1/1 fairy. Tap, remove the bans with other ability from target creature until end of turn. That is completely useless.
I wonder if they have to pay anybody for the rights. For the
Actually, I don't know. Maybe it's okay at the time. Like, banding was broken at the time. That's a very powerful mechanic. But this card made sure that you couldn't band anymore. Banding got banned from the brownie. The brownie banned banding. Say that 5 times fast. Owen Keith with the super chat. Basic planes and psychic surgery. Trying to say, throwing some shade at basic planes, are you? Okay, psychic surgery. Okay, for a blue 1 generic, we got an enchantment. Whenever an opponent shuffles his or her library, which is you,
Yeah.
you may look at the top 2 cards of that library. What, continuously while they're shuffling it? How is that possible? Huh? Whenever an opponent shuffles his or her library, you may look at the top 2 cards of that library. You may exile one of those cards, then put the rest on top of that library in any order. What the hell? Whenever an opponent shuffles their library. Oh, I guess before they shuffle. Like, if... I think it should be worded if... Like, the way I'm reading this, as they're shuffling, you can continuously look at the top 2 cards. Like, 1 mass shuffle, okay, look me at the top 2 cards. Another mass shuffle, okay, I'm going to look at the next top 2 cards. Until you find something you want to get rid of. So is it before or after? Whenever an opponent shuffles their library, you may look at the top 2 cards of that library. You may exile one of those cards and put the rest on the top of that library in any order. I guess after they shuffle. Like, it's not... I don't think it's worded really well. And the Oracle text isn't worded well either. Yeah, I think it appears to be after they're finished shuffling. You like the little manipulation of the top of that library over there.
I like it.
Richardson Pawn Shop.
You're gonna have to call in an expert.
Yeah. Pay 2. For an artifact, pay 2, tap, shuffle target card in play you control into its owner's library. Oh my god. Now that card is trying hard to do nothing. I mean, I guess, what could you do? I guess you get to keep a card in your deck than for it to get exiled or go to the graveyard. Maybe there are some cards that are better in your deck, but you shuffle it into your deck, that's for sure. I made a deck with that card. What is the utility? Everything comes to the waterfront eventually on the tide or on credit. Oh, interesting.
Holy
Anti-thief decks.
Look at this bit of history here.
Huh?
Read this.
We're gonna... Okay, thank you so much for the super chat. I don't know what the currency. Hi, Nikachu. Faye Jones is a 90 years artist with even a Wikipedia page. She is the aunt of Richard Garfield. She painted Stasis as a favor for her nephew. Amazing. We're learning the lore of Faye Jones. Great stuff. All right. Paying tribute to Faye Jones, the one and only, and one of the most iconic arts in Magic the Gathering, really.
Cyclopean Snare.
Where's that? Oh, Markzilla. Cyclopean Snare. Well, I just want to say, this card brings back memories of all the bulk stuff I was buying from Mercadian Masks. Like, this set was already, like, this was the block that was around. It was, like, one of my most purchased. I don't know why, but I just loved buying Mercadian Masks at the time. Like, Invasion just came out, but I'm like, I don't want... Oh, it was because of Richmond Port. I was one of those losers back then. Okay, we got to open up them Richmond Ports. But it was also hard to buy singles back then. Like...
Not too many card shops in Winnipeg.
Well, there were card shops, but they didn't have that many singles. Like, trying to get a Richmond Port is not easy. See, you know how you get a Richmond Port? You buy boosters and try to open it. I don't think I ever opened one Richmond Port. Never happened. Yeah, that's why. And I had just billions of this bulk crap. Along with bribery, I thought that was bulk at the time. Turns out, a million years later, it's great. You're chasing... Yeah, I was chasing foil ports. Pay 2. Okay, we got Cyclopean Snare. 2 mana artifact. Pay 3 tap. Tap target creature, then return Cyclopean Snare to its owner's hand. Oh my god. That is levels of bad. So for 5 mana, I guess we can continuously tap 1 creature down. Yeah, we need our Null Rod to defeat our Cyclopean Snare over here. Alright, we got... imagine slow rolling this pack and seeing Rish... Oh yeah! It would feel bad, and the lands and the artifacts have like a similar color to them. Richmond Pawn Shop, that'd be terrible. Okay, well, let's look at Ryan's thing. Do cards like Peak count? Ah, I like Peak. It does something. Gitaxian Probe is banned for a reason. Dreams of the Dead. What do we got here? Blue 3 generic enchantment. Pay a blue 1 generic. Return target white or black creature card from your graveyard to play. That thing's broken. That creature gains cumulative upkeep 2. If the creature would leave play, remove from the game instead. I actually think this card's not bad. That thing seems really dangerous. It's 21 cents. I imagine there's a lot of commander cards that would like this card. I guess it needs to be an Esper deck, though. I think it does actually a lot. Okay, hold on. Let's look at... Red knows everything. There's a user called Red. Just pumping out these amazing cards. Okay, I don't see him.
Racolite.
Racolite. Okay, Red's trying to tell us something. Red knows every useless card in Magic the Gathering for some reason. An encyclopedia for worthless cards. Pay 6 mana artifact. Pay 2. Prevent the next 1 damage that be dealt to target creature or player this turn. Return Racolite to... Oh my god! Turn Racolite to its owner's hand at the beginning of the next end step. You got 1 shot at preventing some damage. I guess up to 3, because you had at least 6 mana for the Racolite. And then you're going to have... I guess at the time, if it's not specifically... You know, Circle of Protection red, Circle of Protection blue, Circle of Protection black. This can hit all 5 colors at once. It's broken! So they had to have like a... Had to have this massive downside. R&D was like, well, this is going to take over the metagame. We can't have this. There's no such thing as disenchant, which did exist at the time. Razor Boomerang. I don't think we did Razor Boomerang. Razor Boomerang.
Oh no, that poor cow.
Pay 3. Equipped creature has unattached Razor Boomerang. Razor Boomerang deals 1 damage to target creature or player. Return Razor Boomerang to its owner's hand. Oh god. That's terrible. Spend 5 mana to 5 mana, 1 damage. Did we do Aladdin's Ring? I don't know.
You did Aladdin's Lamp.
Yeah, we did. And we did a lot of other rings. This card's not bad. You know what? This is a lot of mana, but 4 damage continue. Like, it doesn't bounce itself to its owner's hand. It doesn't have cumulative upkeep. This is actually one of the better cards that we've seen today for 8 mana. Look at this. His ring blew this person's head off. Feel the power of my ring. Boom. Like a, I don't know, 1-shot, 1 headshot.
It's like an Ace Ventura when you got punched in the forehead with the ring.
Yeah, that's right. We didn't get one from Poxy yet today. Cephalid Snitch. Oh my god.
We saw this one earlier.
Oh, did we?
Yeah.
That's right. Alright, so we gotta get another one. What about Kudzu? Kudzu? What do we got here?
Kuzu's
Justin, are you gonna let us end on a good note? Green, 1 generic. It enchants a land. When enchanted land becomes tapped, destroy it! That land's controller attaches Kudzu to a land of his or her choice. Oh, God.
Kudzu is an invasive species of plant.
Oh, is it?
Yes, it's a real thing.
And invaded
Very
this
invasive.
guy. Very invasive. Invaded this guy.
You need an army of goats to control it.
Oh, to eat all of it?
Yes.
They can eat it, so that's the way. And then what do you do about the goats?
Well, then you need an army of bears to control the goats.
Then what do we do about the bears?
I don't know.
All right, you heard the music, people. That was a great show. I was not sure if this show would be good or not, but it turned out really well. All right, so everyone, thank you very much for being a part of Coffee and MTG today. If you want to be here and be part of the show, be here Monday to Friday at 11 o'clock a.m. Central Standard Time. Huge thank you, everyone who supports the channel, both as members on YouTube, patrons on Patreon, but especially the super chatters, people who like to engage with the show and support it. And because of that, I am here every single morning for all of you. But most importantly, thank you, everyone who's here in the morning for this show. Thank you to, who is this, Igor?
Igor, yeah.
Igor, Markzilla, Ryan, Oliboy, Dem, Red, Steve Cooper, Azil,
Millmaster.
Steve, Poxy, Millmaster, of course, El Winter, Broccoli, Maddie, Rugal. Thank you very much, everyone, for being part of the show. So as usual, keep brewing up them coffees, and we'll keep brewing up the magic. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you at the next cup.